Hi, I'm Margaret with Civic Nebraska's voting rights team, and today we're going to be talking about the 19th Amendment, which was ratified in August, so we have an important anniversary this month. I do have a guest with me today. We have Dr. Phyllis Salyards, who is a co-president of the Hastings League of Women Voters. Thanks for joining me today.
Pleased to be here.
So August 18th, 1920 marked the end of a 72-year struggle for women in America to secure their voting rights with the ratification of the 19th Amendment, which stated, "The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex." Because it's a 72-year struggle, we're just going to be looking at some of the events that were more closely related in time to when it was ratified. So led by Carrie Chapman Catt, two rival suffrage organizations combined in 1890 to form the National American Women's Suffrage Association. But of course, this was not the only organization or the only women who were working to advance the cause of votes for women in the United States. Founded in 1913 by Ida B. Wells, the Alpha Suffrage Club was the first Black female suffrage club. In 1918, President Wilson switches sides and supports women's voting rights. And he didn't just wake up out of bed one day and decide to do this. He had been pressured by women who were protesting at the White House for a lengthy time. That is a presentation in and of itself. It did get violent. The women were beaten and they were jailed. So yeah, that's something we'll be talking about in this series later on. On January 10th, 1918, the House of Representatives votes to approve votes for women, 274 to 136. The first woman to serve in Congress, Representative Jeanette Rankin of Montana, pleads the case. She says, "How shall we answer their challenge, gentlemen? How shall we explain to them the meaning of democracy if the same Congress that voted for war to make the world safe for democracy refuses to give this small measure of democracy to the women of our country?" In the Senate, the amendment fails to pass. It is reintroduced in the House and it's approved on May 21st, 1919 by a vote of 304 to 90. The amendment is finally approved by the Senate on June 4th, 1919 by a vote of 56 to 25. So we did say it was a 72-year struggle. Dr. Phyllis, what does voting mean to you?
Well, it's always been a very important part of my life. You have to understand that I was raised in a family with a college professor of history, my mother, and a college professor of political science, my father. And we started out in Kentucky, which was known for being very corrupt when it came to voting, and stuffed ballot boxes were the favorite. So Daddy used to have his students go and be polling place observers. So this is what I was weaned on. And so voting was always extremely important. Being from Kentucky, where it was legal for to vote at 18, as opposed to Nebraska, where we lived during the school year when it was 21, I maintained my voting residence in Kentucky. And my first presidential vote was in 1968. And I have not missed a single vote since then. When I started voting, it was during the Vietnam War, and I remembered that there were people who were bleeding and dying for the right to vote, and that I absolutely should take advantage of that right.
Well, thank you. I really especially find interesting the poll observation that your father was having students do. That's an important component of our work at Civic Nebraska is election observation. So if you are interested in helping protect voting rights, if you are interested in poll observation, we would love to have you join us as a voting rights advocate. It's very easy to do. And we do have actions that you can participate in from the safety of your home during this time of social isolation. we have an online service called Outreach Circle, and you can use your phone or your computer, and you could be working to protect democracy from the comfort of your living room in your pajamas if you want to. Very easy to join. You can scan the code on your screen or visit the website that is linked there below. And thank you for joining me today, Dr. Phyllis.
You're very welcome.